Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Ngunnawal people. I pay my respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here today.
What a wonderful Try again. Mrs. Leah Russell, Chairwoman of College Council, Mrs. Kylie Alcorn, Member of College Council, PLC Armidale Old Girl and PLC Armidale now Mother of an Old Girl. To Mr. Tim Catterall, Chair of the Finance Committee and a Member of College Council, Reverend Fiona May, Reverend David Seaman, Member of College Council and Minister of St Paul's Presbyterian Church, Armidale. To Mr. John De Cruz, Director of Development of PLC Sydney and Pathways. To Mrs. Jan Patterson, much loved and esteemed PLC Armidale teacher and today's guest speaker. To Mrs. Sarah Yassine, President of the PLC Armidale PNF. Mrs. Judy Sheedy, Vice President of PLC PNF. And to Chelsea Schaefer, and member of the PNF and Foundation Committee, to parents and family members joining us, to Mr. Trent Donaldson, Chair of the Foundation Committee, to the staff of PLC Armidale, and last but definitely not least, our student cohort, years 6 to 10. Welcome to our 2023 Speech Day. We have just enjoyed the most delightful rendition of a classic song by Louis Armstrong. A guest appearance by Bel Canto to sing this work at the Junior School Time to Shine presentation evening led me to ask Mrs. Dunham whether or not we could have the senior school choir learn the piece in just under a week so that it could be performed as a whole school piece at Speech Day. It is a poignant yet significant reminder of our whole school focus continuum of learning that characterises PLC Armidale. It is now our turn to respond, so would you please be upstanding as we sing together both verses of the national anthem. Thank you.
Please be seated. We have a lot to be thankful for. Let us come before our Almighty God. Lord, we thank you that every good and perfect gift comes from you, from heaven above. Lord, we thank you for our families this day, especially for our girls, and for the achievements that each one has achieved. Lord, as we celebrate today, we ask that we would we would be thankful to you for all the things that you have given to us. Lord, watch over our school. Be with our staff, our principal, and all who attend her. And Lord, we ask that you would help us to be your people always. In Jesus' name, amen.
What an amazing performance by the PLC Jazz Band, who I understand have really only been together for 12 months. So maybe we can give them another applause. So good morning, special guests, girls and young women of PLC Armidale, family, friends, staff and College Council. Today we come together to celebrate the end of 2023. We recognise the achievements of our girls and young women across a breadth of endeavour. Achievement is an interesting idea in many ways. It is accompanied by a sense of reward and of completion, which is right when looking back at the investment of effort. Today we reward that effort. But when speaking of achievement, we can also consider how achievement builds on the future, the challenges, the opportunities, the possibilities otherwise not considered. So we celebrate achievement, recognising what has happened, as well as wondering about what might happen. I also want to recognise the dedication of our academic staff and support staff, led by Mrs. Nicola Taylor and the executive. I see the results of their work, but it is the girls, you who know this dedication firsthand. This dedication is about more than education. It is about a commitment to building the women of purpose. Girls, perhaps you'll have the opportunity to thank one of the PLC community who has helped you this year today. Thank you to each of the members of College Council, each who volunteers their time to ensure the governance of the college is sound. I thank Karen Bowser for being Deputy in 2023 and for Adam Ladkins, who is now continuing in this role along with Convener of Governance. Thank you for Tim Cattrall for his effective work as Convener of Finance and Risk, Joanne Gamble in her role as Convener of Strategy and Education, and Kylie Alcorn for Governance of Foundation and the linkage to Old Girls. I'm going to put a plug in for the foundation. If you'd like to donate, we're very happy to speak to you. This year, the focus has continued to be on implementing our strategy. So supporting the executive to further the wellbeing of students with the first ESJ program for Stage 5 this year. I know I was impressed with the photographs and the activities, and I wish I had the opportunity when I was growing up to be involved. And I trust over time this will become a peak experience that all girls look forward to. We're also ensuring that the girls are educated to the best of their ability within a Christian framework, and managing the finances in a way that enables us to pay fair prices to suppliers, ensure our staff remuneration is maintained, and being mindful of fees to parents. We do live in a world that has been facing many challenges: economic conditions, the news of war, drought, famine, etc. We also face individual challenges such as health, finding time or inspiration to get assessments finished, preparing for significant exams, preparing new teaching programs, or just learning new skills. So I'm sure I'm not the only one who asks the question sometimes, why? What can we do when problems seem so large? A recent sermon I heard reminded me that even the small things we do are important and are often the pathway to improvement. It was a message from Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10, not the easiest book of the Bible. But who dares despise the days of the small things, when they'll be rejoicing when they see the capstone placed? Small things matter. Life is made up of small things. We put our heads down to study. We make an effort to be helpful. We can say one encouraging word. God is concerned with the small things. The small things are like bricks in a building, of themselves insignificant. Then there are times when we see the capstone put in place. My husband tells me that capstones were an important part of making arches, and when the capstone goes in, it is a moment of completion, a time of rejoicing. For many of our girls, today is a capstone moment. We do not despise the small things because we know there will be days like this to rejoice in the capstone moment. But we do need to remember that to build a great building, you need many arches. As we enter the time of Christmas, we will see how God worked through the small. Jesus' birth as a baby, and then the individual steps of his life before the crowning glory of his death and resurrection. My prayer is that you'll remember to take the small steps that will enable you to grow into young women of purpose and faith. Thank you.
Good morning to the staff, students and community of PLC Armidale and to all of our distinguished guests who have joined us for Speech Day 2023. Our wonderful guest speaker for today is Mrs. Jan Patterson. Mrs. P has been a teacher for over 44 years and has been here at PLC Armidale since 1999. And in that time, she has touched the hearts and minds of so many of our girls. She has taught in both the senior and junior school across a wide range of disciplines, including humanities subjects, drama and dance, in addition to pioneering PLC's amazing extracurricular speech and performance program. Although she has quite recently retired from teaching full-time and has been travelling and seeing the world and her friends and family, she has been invited back today to share with us the benefits of her extensive expertise and to share with us all about her journey as a teacher and a person who has impacted the lives of so many. Please welcome her very warmly to the stage.
Hello to my wonderful PLC family. It is just a warm feeling every time I come into this establishment, and every day of my teaching life I have been delighted to come to this place with these special people. Sometimes we didn't quite achieve the things we wanted, and we would fall in heaps on the ground, laughing and rolling with glee. But that's what speech and drama is all about, really. It is a privilege to be asked to speak today, and unfortunately I've had my children here from England for a month and they only left yesterday, so I haven't had a great deal of time to prepare, but I've picked some little nuggets out of things that made my life worthwhile and enjoyable. There are three main elements which have combined to make my life memorable and enjoyable. First is spontaneity. I'm not sure if all students know what spontaneity is, but it's doing something where you haven't meticulously prepared it beforehand and planned exactly the way it'll go. So spontaneity is rather what you're going to get today. Curiosity is the second factor, which has really enlarged and made my life interesting. To find out the whys and the hows of how things happen around you is a very, very exciting experience. It also means that you delve more deeply into things. Today we sort of skim over the top of things a little bit, and I think the curiosity factor makes us go deeply into life and what makes it worthwhile. The third thing is accepting opportunities as they arise. Do you want to be a scientific helper on the reef trip? Yes, I do. Do you want to take part in putting on a musical? Yes, I do. And all of those accepting opportunities as they arise. Do you want to go into the heart of the New Guinea highlands when you are just a young, sort of late teenager? Yes, that would be very fascinating and interesting. So I'll give you some examples of when these three things, the spontaneity, the curiosity, and the accepting opportunities. First, one of the things that happened when I was 12 was I was offered a scholarship to MLC in Sydney at Burwood. This was amazing, and I was asked to go to an interview with the principal, Dr. O'Reilly, and he took me around the school and showed me where everything was. And when we got back to his office, he said, "Jan, do you think you will be happy at this school?" And I didn't answer for quite some time. And then I said, "I don't think rich girls have freckles, and I've got freckles and I mightn't fit in." He roared up uproariously. He just chuckled and laughed, and he said, "We have to go on another tour." And so we went out, and he took me to every classroom and pointed out the girls in each classroom who had freckles. And so after that I said, "Yes, I'd love to come here." And I had 5 wonderful years of education at MLC and ended up duxing the school, so that was a bit of a surprise. So after I finished my degree, there was another case of opportunities, and this was the one to do 3 months prac teaching in Papua New Guinea. We're flown from Port Moresby in a single-engine plane through the narrow mountain ways of Upper Papua New Guinea, and then we were established in houses which had slits. And all the tribesmen and women would congregate outside and peer with their eyes through the slits, and they would just stare at our white skin. They couldn't get over the fact that we had white skin, and so there was a line up the whole time we were at the Bia River. Then we flew over to Rabaul, to the Teachers' College at Garlem, and we were actually lecturing the teaching students in Rabaul. This was an interesting situation. There, instead of being in slit huts, we were in things on stilts, very high up, and you had to climb up a ladder to get in there. And one night, we heard great loud callings out, and it was one of the nurses from the hospital saying, "There's a baby about to be born, do you want to see?" So we all climbed down out of our huts and raced over to the very highly smelly kerosene, it was a really put together, very roughly hospital. And as we came, we were just in time to see the baby roll out like a pound of butter. I was so awesomised by this happening that I completely fainted, knocked my head on the side of the bench in the hospital and was totally unconscious on the floor, causing much more problem for the nursing staff than the lady having the baby. It was very embarrassing and they never let me forget it. But I learnt a lot about giving birth. Now, another opportunity that was thrown at me was to be a scientific assistant to 14 scientists on the reef. And that was brilliant. And I got to do so many different kind of investigative jobs, collecting poisonous cone shells and tracing the direction of the currents. And it was just wonderful to be able to look at all of these things. But the thing which captured me the most was the fact that we couldn't band the birds in the daytime because it was so hot, and the chicks would melt in the sun if they didn't have their parents with them. So we had the lovely job of going in the dark to the sand islands where all the birds were in the cool of the evening. And we grabbed them by the neck, trying to make sure that their beak didn't reach our eyes. And we banded their legs, and then we banded the babies, and then we were fine. And we couldn't see the sharks on the way back to the boat. But that was a tremendous experience. And they said, "I'm afraid, Jan, you only know one method of banding, and that's of the hand net or by your own hands." And they said, "You have to learn 700 bush birds in Australia, and you have to do 500 hours of training to become a qualified A-grade bander." And that's what I became. And that qualification took me all around Australia to different places, and I saw the countryside, I saw different habitats, different kinds of birds, and it's been a brilliant time for me, all of those months of bird banding. I did set up a project in Mungandai. Who comes from Mungandai here? Anyone? I thought we had some students from Mungandai. So I did an individual project with apostle birds who go round in 12s roughly. And so that was delightful. Then they said, "You need to do an honours project in physiology. We've just got some marmosets in. Those are little tiny monkeys that are black that have fluffy white ears. And these ones weren't used for all the drug trials in Sydney, and UNE bought them. And I was mother of the first triplets that were ever born. They were only this big, and I put the three of them in a cereal bowl and called them Snap, Crackle and Pop. From then on, I had the delight of furbishing their enclosures. So I had to go out to paddocks and hack branches and put them in. But every time I went in their cage, I was scent marked as one of the team. It was not a pleasant smell to be scent marked by a marmoset. However, I then looked at why do these monkeys headcock? Headcocking is where they turn their head through 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, which we can't do. And why do they do it? That was the question we were asked. So I had to experiment with what they had to look at all the way around. And it turned out at the end of my inquiries that these monkeys needed to be able to recognise new things in their cage. And they wouldn't spend time looking at familiar things, they would spend time looking from all angles and perspectives at these objects in their cage. So that was, again, quite a different experience. And you have to say yes. Now, the Rock of Stedford was something here. Are there any girls who ever did a Rock of Stedford? Any girls who ever recognise we did 11 Rock of Stedfords? Right, this little girl down the front, I think her name's Katie Clinch. She remembers it. She remembers it. And this was a wonderful thing. We won one year, and our very own workmen, we did the theme of the Battle of Britain, and the girls were very thrilled because James designed a whole aeroplane with propellers and lights, and they were so invested in the Rock of Stedford. And so we won that year, and that was very exciting. But 6 Year 12s would use their holidays, a bit like guild drama, to choreograph a story about the Battle of Britain. And they had to go in their holidays and put that together as a dance for 70 girls. So 70 girls actually danced the story, and it was wonderful. So I have very good memories of that. And the leadership skills that those girls gained was phenomenal. I also said yes to going to a peace college in Denmark. That was somewhere where you got to talk to people from 40 different nationalities. And we agreed on all the important issues about world politics, but the things they could not agree on was who was going to use the cooking pot. There was only one big cooking pot, and it could take potatoes or rice. And they had to take turns in cooking potato or rice because people from different cultures are invested in their food. So that was it. So the biggest conflicts occurred over that cooking pot. And that did surprise me. But I learnt something about living together. Now, although I've found many unusual experiences in my life very enriching, the years I've spent teaching at PLC are the most precious of all. The quality of the students and staff at this school is extraordinary, and those elements of spontaneity, curiosity, and taking opportunities as they appear, colour the attitudes of the people who inhabit the halls of this school and inspire the girls to rise to unprecedented heights. So be brave in choosing the options that life offers you and live life to the fullest. Above all, be kind and generous. I have received nothing but kindness and generosity this year, and I thank everybody here for helping me get through the challenges. So, if you are spontaneous, you are flexible and approach things with an open mind. If you are curious, you will delve more deeply into the whys and hows of your surroundings. If you take up the opportunities around you, your life will be full of amazing experiences which will enhance your self-knowledge and confidence. Thank you for the wonderful company over the last 44 years, and keep reaching for the stars.
Mrs. Patterson, our thank you seems inadequate. You are an inspiration to all, full of talent, infectious passion, and endless wisdom. Thank you for your generosity in not only sharing your time today, but every contribution you have made to the PLC community and its girls. You have touched so many hearts and minds, and this will live on. Because of you, any of your speech and drama girls will think twice before saying and will remember to articulate their words. I honestly don't think I would be able to stand up here and deliver this speech if it wasn't for you, Mrs. P. Your talk today displayed your passion, as well as your genuine care and generosity for PLC. Your talk about spontaneity, curiosity, and accepting opportunities as they rise was truly enlightening and is something we'll certainly remember. Thank you once again, Mrs. Patterson, for gracing us with your invaluable insight and wisdom today. You will never be forgotten. Your knowledge and advice will forever be with us as we navigate our journeys through high school and beyond. Thank you, Mrs. P.
We're now moving on to the presentation of Senior School Awards. If Year 7 could start to congregate at the side of the stage, please. Mrs. Taylor and guests, it is my great pleasure to present to you our class of Year 7 for 2023. Please hold your applause until the end of each year group. Ashley Boyd, completion of Year 7. Ileana Carruthers, merit for music, visual arts, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation and Coaches Award for PLC Under-13s Hockey. Ormendri Chandrasena, in absentia. Emmeline Creamer, completion of Year 7. Lily Donaldson, merit for drama, English, HSIE, mathematics, music, PDHPE, science and visual arts, effort and achievement for French, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation, best and fairest for PLC Under-13s Hockey, most improved for PLC Under-15s Hockey, and silver pocket for sport. Madison Elborn, merit for English, HSIE and technology, effort and achievement for French. Darcy Finlayson, merit for English, French, HSIE, music, PDHPE, science, effort and achievement for drama and technology, and Coaches Award for PLC 6 Shooting Stars Netball. Isabella Forrest, merit for drama, French, music, PDHPE, science and technology, effort and achievement for English, HSIE, and visual arts. Camilla Grills, effort and achievement for PDHPE and visual arts. Willow Gully, effort and achievement for drama. Chloe Hode, merit for French, effort and achievement for English, HSIE, science and technology. Kitmi Jararatne, merit for drama, English, mathematics and science, effort and achievement for French, HSIE, music and PDHPE, 2023 Australian Mathematics Competition Certificate of Proficiency, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation, blue pocket for creative arts and music. Ava Keel, completion of Year 7 and credit for 2023 ICAS assessment in English. Isabel McRae, merit for mathematics, PDHPE, effort and achievements for English, HSIE, music and visual arts, best and fairest for PLC Under-14s rugby. Kalani Madawaji, merit for HSIE, mathematics, science, technology and visual arts, effort and achievement for English, French and music, 2023 Australian Maths Competition Certificate of Proficiency and Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation and blue pocket for academic. Sabella Manson, effort and achievement for drama. Sophia Marchant, effort and achievement for drama. Evie Matthews, merit for drama, French, HSIE, mathematics, technology and visual arts, effort and achievement for English and PDHPE, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation, most improved for PLC Under-13s hockey and silver pocket for sport. Olive McFarlane, merit for drama, English, French, HSIE, mathematics, music, PDHPE, science, technology and visual arts. 2023 Australian Mathematics Competition credit and enrichment certificate of participation. Credit for ICAS assessments in English and mathematics, blue pocket for creative arts, blue pocket for sport, blue pocket for music and silver pocket for sport and SRC certificate. Evangeline McGuinness, merit for English and visual arts. Effort and achievement for drama, French, HSIE, PDHPE, technology and coaches award for PLC4 Hurricanes netball. Rebecca McMahon, effort and achievements for mathematics, music, PDHPE and visual arts and the BRC certificate. Lillian Miller, effort and achievement for music. Poppy Grace Newton, merit for drama, French, music, PDHPE and technology, effort and achievement for HSIE, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation, gold pocket for creative arts, SRC certificate and BRC certificate. Imogen Scanlon, completion of Year 7. Matilda Sheeran, completion of Year 7. Hope Stoltenberg, effort and achievement for drama and mathematics. Nyla Webb, effort and achievements for English, mathematics, PDHPE, science and technology, best and fairest for PLC 6 Shooting Stars netball, blue pocket for sport. Shani Webb, effort and achievement for French and technology, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation. Charlotte White, effort and achievement for technology. Please congratulate Year 7. Year 8. Mila Cox, completion of Year 8. Jasmine Deary, in absentia, merit for technology, effort and achievement in mathematics, the Premier Readers Challenge, proficiency in the Australian Maths Competition and most improved for PLC4 Hurricanes netball and a BRC certificate. Trista Dorian, merit for history, mathematics and music, certificate of proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition and silver pocket for sport. Bella Fitler, merit for French and history, effort and achievements for drama, music, science and technology, 2023 Maths Enrichment Certificate of Participation and gold pocket for music. Mem Lay, merit for drama, geography, music, PDHPE, science and visual arts, effort and achievement for English, history and mathematics, Coaches Award for PLC 5 Assassins netball, Coaches Award for PLC Under-15s hockey, gold pocket for music, outright gold pocket for music for Gondwana National Choral School of 2023. Kate Loxley, merit for English, geography, history, music, PDHPE and science, effort and achievement for French and mathematics, a merit in the ICAS assessments in science and credit in English and writing, blue pocket for academic, blue pocket for sport, silver pocket for creative arts and gold pocket for music. Alana Marshall, merit for drama, English, French, history, mathematics, PDHPE, science and technology, effort and achievement for geography and music, certificate of proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition, silver pocket for music and SRC certificate. Sophie Matthews, effort and achievement for visual arts, most improved for PLC 6 Shooting Stars netball. Lillian Meredith, completion of Year 8. Charlie Milton. Merit for visual arts, effort and achievements for drama, English, history, mathematics, PDHPE and science, and BRC certificate. Ava Notley, effort and achievement for geography, PDHPE and technology, and silver pocket for sport. Grace Robertson, merit for English, French, blue pocket for creative arts, and gold pocket for music. Georgia Scanlon, completion of Year 8. Teresa Schmood, effort and achievement for English. Mindy Sue, merit for mathematics, visual arts, effort and achievement for French and science. Charlotte Thomas, certificate of proficiency in the 2023 Australian Mathematics Competition, Orala Aboriginal Centre Achievement Award, silver pocket for sport, and SRC certificate. Elise Tisseron, merit for French and music, effort and achievements for drama and history, certificate of credit in the Australian Mathematics Competition, most improved for PLC 5 Assassins Netball, silver pocket for creative arts, and gold pocket for music. Amy Turk, merit for drama, English and geography, effort and achievement for PDHPE, certificate of proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition, and best and fairest for PLC 5 Assassins Netball. Mary Gwamba, merit for drama, mathematics and technology, effort and achievements for French and geography, certificate of proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition, and gold pocket for sport. Mila Van Zeller, merit for drama, geography, PDHPE, science, technology and visual arts, effort and achievement for French and music, and blue pocket for sport. Annie Wake, effort and achievement for drama, PDHPE and technology, and blue pocket for sport. Amelia Webb, effort and achievement for geography and science, and silver pocket for sport. Please congratulate Year 8. Year 9. Emily Adams, merit for English, HSIE, Mathematics 5.3 and Science, effort and achievements for critical and creative composers, PDHPE and music, certificate of participation in the 2023 Maths Challenge and a credit in the Australian Mathematics Competition, distinction in ICAS Assessment English and credit in ICAS Assessments in Mathematics, Science and Writing, blue pocket for creative arts, silver pocket for academic, and outright gold pocket for academic junior science Olympiad squad training 2023. Sophie Bailey, effort and achievement for science, outright gold pocket for sport, tennis. Kimberly Blake, merit for mathematics 5.2. Stephanie Blake, merit for English, HSIE, Mathematics 5.3, PDHPE, Science, French and Music, effort and achievement for food technology, gold pocket for creative arts, gold pocket for music, gold pocket for sport, outright gold pocket for sport athletics and BRC certificate. Aria Brower, completion of Year 9. Isabel Carlin, effort and achievement for drama. Molly Chard, merit for science, PDHPE and food technology, effort and achievement for English, HSIE, Mathematics 5.3 and music, best and fairest for PLC under 16 rugby, silver pocket for music, silver pocket for sport and gold pocket for creative arts. Charlotte Coventry, merit for commerce, effort and achievement for English and HSIE. Bella De Gregorio, In absentia, completion of Year 9. Josephine Fawcett. In absentia, merit for English Mathematics 5.2 effort and achievement for HSIE and the Premier's Reading Challenge Certificate. Jade Foster, effort and achievement for HSIE. Ella Jenkins, merit for visual arts, best and fairest for PLC Under-15s hockey and PLC 2 Panthers soccer and PLC Under-16s rugby. Blue pocket for creative arts, silver pocket for sport, SRC and BRC certificate. Lila Killen, completion of Year 9. Jessica McMahon, merit for drama and pass, effort and achievement for food technology, silver pocket for creative arts and silver pocket for music. Navita Maya, merit for English, HSIE, PDHPE and commerce, effort and achievement for psychology and visual arts. Charlotte McKenna, completion of Year 9. Rachel Mungle, merit for English, HSIE, Mathematics 5.3, PDHPE, Science, Critical and Creative Composers and Drama, effort and achievement for visual arts, distinction in the ICAS assessment in English, silver pocket for academic, gold pocket for creative arts and SRC certificate. Natasha North, effort and achievement for Mathematics 5.2, PDHPE, Commerce and Design and Technology. Kiana Ping-Key, completion of Year 9, best and fairest for PLC 4 Hurricanes netball and blue pocket for music. Ashley Sharp, effort and achievement for English and Mathematics 5.2. Laura Very, effort and achievement for agriculture and silver pocket for sport. Benedi Vithana, merit for English, HSIE, PDHPE, Science, French, Music and Psychology, effort and achievement for Year 10 Mathematics 5.3 Accelerated, a credit in the Maths Challenge as well as the Australian Mathematics Competition, a distinction in the ICAS English and credit in ICAS Mathematics Science and Writing, blue pocket for academic, gold pocket for music and outright gold pocket for academic, the Junior Science Olympiad Training Squad of 2023. Elsie Wake, merit for agriculture, food technology, effort and achievement for HSIE, Mathematics 5.3, PDHPE, Science and Drama and Coaches Award for PLC 2 Panthers Soccer. Macy Wake, merit for food technology, effort and achievements for science, commerce, pass, Coaches Award for PLC 1 Opens Hockey and silver pocket for sport. Kate Ward, merit for commerce and pass, effort and achievement for Mathematics 5.3 and PDHPE. Lucy Ward, merit for HSIE, Mathematics 5.3, PDHPE, Science and French, effort and achievement for English and food technology. Margaret Wicksteed, merit for food technology, effort and achievement for English, Mathematics 5.3, pass and PDHPE. Bridie Wilkinson, completion of Year 9. Chloe Younghusband, merit for Design and Technology, effort and achievement for English, HSIE, PDHPE, Science and Commerce. Miley Yu, in absentia, merit for Visual Arts. Please congratulate Year 9. Kushi Ayla, merit for Geography, Mathematics 5.3, Science, effort and achievement for English, and participation in this Maths Enrichment Certificate, as well as a silver pocket for academic and gold pocket for music. Emily Blake, Merit for English, Geography, PDH, PE, Science, Critical and Creative Composers and Music. Effort and Achievement for Drama, History and Mathematics 5.3. Most Improved for PLC 2 Panthers Soccer. Blue Pocket for Social Service, Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music and outright Gold Pocket for Gondwana Voices 2023. Ali Bragg. Merit for Geography, History, Science and Drama. Effort and Achievement for Music. Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music, outright Gold Pocket for Music Gondwana Voices 2023, as well as New South Wales Regional Youth Orchestra. And an outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts Shakespeare Carnival and SRC certificate. Taya Catterall. Merit for Science and Drama. Effort and Achievement for English, Geography and History. Best and Fairest for PLC 3 Wildcats Netball. Blue Pocket for Social Service, Silver Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music and outright Gold Pocket for Gondwana Voices 2023. Daisy Donaldson. Merit for English, History, PDHPE, Design and Technology and Visual Arts. Effort and Achievement for Geography and French, Gold Pocket for Creative Arts. Isabella Every. Merit for Mathematics 5.2. Credit in the ICAS Assessment English, and Most Improved for PLC 2 Hotshots Netball. Caitlin Fitler, completion of Year 10, and Most Improved for PLC 1 Opens Netball. Matilda George, Merit for Agriculture, Effort and Achievement for PDHPE, and Silver Pocket for Music. Anna Grills, Effort and Achievement for Mathematics 5.2 and Silver Pocket for Social Service. Nevada Giants, Merit for English, Geography, History, Psychology, Spanish by Distance, Year 11 Physics Accelerated and Year 12 Chemistry Accelerated. Effort and Achievement for Mathematics 5.3, Distinction in ICAS for Science and Writing, Credit in ICAS for English and Mathematics, the Certificate of Distinction for the 2023 International Chemistry Quiz, Intermediate Division 2, as well as Certificate of Distinction for the Chemistry Quiz in the Final Division and the Senior Division, Gold Pocket for Academic, and outright Gold Pocket for the New South Wales Young Scientist Award of 2023. Ava Hopkinson, completion of Year 10. Corinne Kelly, Merit for Pass. Tortico Lay, Merit for PDHPE, Effort and Achievement for English and Geography, Silver Pocket for Creative Arts, Silver Pocket for Social Service, Gold Pocket for Music, outright Gold Pocket for Music Gondwana National Choir School 2023, and outright Gold Pocket for Music that her A exam in 2023. Mary Lynn, Effort and Achievement for Food Technology. Madeline Marsden, Effort and Achievement for Food Technology and Pass. Lily McCosker, Effort and Achievement for Mathematics 5.2 and BRC Certificate. Poppy McLaren, Merit for Mathematics 5.2, Effort and Achievements for English, Agriculture, Commerce, PDHPE and Design and Technology, Blue Pocket for Sport, Silver Pocket for Music and BRC Certificate. Bridie O'Neill, Effort and Achievement for English, Drama, PDHPE, Music and Psychology, Coaches Award for PLC 1 Opens Netball, Silver Pocket for Sport and Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music and SRC Certificate. Grace Paget, Effort and Achievement for Science and Agriculture. Daisy Sheedy, Merit for English, History, Geography, PDHPE and German by Distance, Effort and Achievement for Science and Visual Arts. Holly Sheedy, Merit for English, History and PDHPE, Effort and Achievement for Geography, Science, Design and Technology and German by Distance, and Blue Pocket for Sport. India Smith, Merit for French and Music, Effort and Achievement for Science, Gold Pocket for music, outright Gold Pocket for music New South Wales Regional Youth Orchestra, as well as an outright Gold Pocket for music Gondwana Voices 2023. Bella Sun, merit for mathematics 5.3 and completion of 19 weeks of the Pathways program. Stella Tui, completion of Year 10 and Gold Pocket for music. Emily Vanderwerth, merit for English, Geography, History, Mathematics 5.3, PDHPE, Science, Music, Year 11 Physics Accelerated, proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition and credit in ICAS assessments for English, Mathematics and Science, Blue Pocket for Sport, Gold Pocket for Academic, Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music, outright Gold Pocket for Academic, the STA New South Wales Young Scientist Award, as well as for Music, the New South Wales Regional Youth Orchestra of 2023. Zoe Webb, merit for Mathematics 5.3, Science, Agriculture, Commerce and Design and Technology. Effort and achievement for English, Geography and PDHPE, Best and Fairest for PLC 2 Hotshots Netball and Blue Pocket for Social Service. Sophie Young, effort and achievement for Geography, Blue Pocket for Creative Arts, Blue Pocket for Sport and Silver Pocket for Music. Maggie Zen, effort and achievement for Mathematics 5.3, Australian Mathematics Competition Certificate of Credit and the Certificate of Participation in the 2023 Maths Enrichment. Please congratulate Year 10. Year 11, Andrea Brown, merit for Hospitality, Music 1, effort and achievement for Drama, French Continuous and Visual Arts. Zoe Chen, completion of Year 11. Liberty Cook, merit for Mathematics Standard, Year 12 Agriculture Accelerated, effort and achievement for Design and Technology, outright Gold Pocket for Sport, Cattle Team, and Student Leadership Certificate. Priel Delgado Perez, completion of Year 11. Lily Gully, effort and achievement for Chinese beginners by distance and Camden Haven High School Faculty Award for Chinese beginners. Lily Higgins, completion of Year 11, Best and Fairest for PLC 1 Opens Netball. Caitlin Cable, merit for Biology, Chemistry, Design and Technology, Mathematics Advanced and Modern History. Effort and achievements for English Advanced and Mathematics Extension 1. Best and Fairest for PLC 2 Hotshots Netball. Outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, AMEB Speech and Drama 2023 and BRC Certificate. Belle Lynn, merit for English Standard and French Continuous. Effort and achievement for Mathematics Advanced and Chinese and Literature by distance, and a Certificate of Proficiency in the 2023 Australian Mathematics Competition. Scarlett Loxley, merit for Chemistry, English Advanced, English Extension 1, German Continuous, Mathematics Advanced, Mathematics Extension 1, Year 12 Software Design and Development Accelerated by Distance. Effort and achievement for Physics, the Camden Haven High School Course Excellence Award for Year 12 Software Design and Development, Proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition, Blue Pocket for Creative Arts, Gold Pocket for Music, Gold Pocket for Academic, outright Gold Pocket for Academic the Curious Minds program, as well as the Sydney University Academic Award of 2023, outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts for AMEB Speech and Drama and CVCA in 2023, and Student Leadership Certificate. Charlie Mack, merit for PDHPE, effort and achievement in legal studies by distance. Ellen Marsden, completion of Year 11. Hannah Mogadar, merit for Biology, effort and achievement for Business Studies, Chemistry and English Advanced, and the University of Wollongong Certificate of Completion of the 2023 Year 11 Future Me program. Mia Montgomery, Effort and Achievement for Agriculture, Mathematics Standard, Music 1 and PDHPE, Silver Pocket for Sport, outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, AMEB Speech and Drama, Student Leadership Certificate and SRC Certificate. And VT Sinha, Merit for Biology, Chemistry, Drama, Physics, Year 12 Mathematics Advanced Accelerated, Year 12 Mathematics Extension 1 Accelerated, Effort and Achievement for English Advanced, Proficiency in the Australian Mathematics Competition, Blue Pocket for Creative Arts, Silver Pocket for Academic, and outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, her CVCA in 2023. Sophia Vanzella, in absentia, but merit for Agriculture, Design and Technology, and Effort Achievement for Biology and a Student Leadership Certificate. Isabella Waters, merit for Business Studies, English Advanced and Visual Arts, Effort and Achievement for Biology, Silver Pocket for Academic, and outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, her CVCA in 2023. Georgia Wibley, merit for Mathematics Standard, Most Improved for PLC 1 Opens Hockey, outright Gold Pocket for Sport, Agriculture, and BLC Certificate. Eileen Wicksteed, merit for Modern History. Alana Williams, merit for English Advanced and Music 2, Effort and Achievement for English Extension 1 and German Continuous, Mathematics Advanced and Modern History, Blue Pocket for Social Service, Silver Pocket for Creative Arts, Silver Pocket for Music, and outright Gold Pocket for Creative Arts, her AMEB Speech and Drama, CVCA. Emily Wood, Effort and Achievement for Biology and Modern History, as well as the SRC Certificate. Isabella Woods, Effort and Achievement for Design and Technology and Mathematics Standard. Please congratulate Year 11. We are now moving on to our PLC Pathways certificates. PLC Pathways is the intensive English learning program offered at PLC Armidale. We are fortunate to have the environment and opportunity to welcome these international students to Australia, joining the school community while they have been working hard to improve their English. The Pathways program caters for both boys and girls, and while the boys have provision in immersing themselves in the wider community, they are part of Scots Old Saints College. They're here today to receive their certificates. So PLC Pathways for 2023. Jacqueline Bellotti, completion of the 28 weeks of the Pathways program. Harriet Chen, completion of 38 weeks of the Pathways program. Emma Gang, completion of 19 weeks of the Pathways program. Anna Guo, completion of 19 weeks of the Pathways program. Bella Lee, completion of 19 weeks of the Pathways program. Ethan Lin, completion of 38 weeks of the Pathways program. Jasper Lin, completion of 38 weeks of the Pathways program. Scarlett Liu, completion of 4 weeks of the Pathways program. In absentia. Evelyn Liu, completion of 38 weeks of the Pathways program. Katie Ugalusiden, in absentia, completion of 25 weeks of the Pathways program. And Lisa Sheng, completion of 19 weeks of the Pathways program. Please congratulate our Pathways students.
Good morning, Mrs. Taylor, Mr. Clendenning, distinguished guests, family, friends, staff, and girls. While in the process of drafting my speech for today, I found it difficult to figure out exactly what it was I wanted to pass on to each of you as the last speech I delivered here at school. I know I'm not particularly known for fine words of wisdom. A lot of the time when I draft speeches, I instead think about one goal, one thing that I hope happens through my speech. At valedictory, my goal was to get the people in my year to cry, but I wasn't expecting to do such a fantastic job that I ended up crying myself. Today's goals, of which there's two, include firstly, to not cry, and secondly, for some parts of this speech to be remembered, however small. I've been at PLC ever since I first arrived here in Year 7, and after 6 years of being a PLC girl, I can safely say that being a part of this school is one of the things that I hold most dear and that I am most proud of. This has never been more true than in 2023. As one of the first years, on the whole, free of pandemic restrictions, our school spirit seems to have been renewed in full force. Just this year, we had record numbers of Gondwana choir participants, CBCA awardees, team and individual sporting champions, prize winners at the Young Scientist Awards, and recently, a very successful school musical. Each and every one of you should be immensely proud of the hard work and dedication you've put in throughout this year. Recently, I've been putting in some thought about what exactly it is that makes PLC such a joy to be at, especially because I remember when I first arrived here, it was not quite as enthusiastic. Though the staff, the girls, and the PLC community have always been exceptionally welcoming, being a new student and knowing very little people here meant that no amount of kindness helped me to miss my old friends and teachers from primary school any less. I think this is something that any student who's ever started at a new school would have experienced to some extent, because adjusting to anything new, let alone when you're surrounded by people who all seem to know each other, can be really difficult. You feel like you have to work twice as hard to fit in, to feel like you belong. However, something I quickly realized as being one of the greatest things about a school like PLC is that our individuality is so celebrated and that you get to know every single student and teacher here. There's no need to have to be like everyone else because nobody here expects you to be anything other than yourself. This is the first point I'd like to make today about what I think shapes a PLC girl, what shapes leadership in an all-girls school. It's our ability to be ourselves. Now, for a long time, my concept of a good leader was someone who was always level-headed, who didn't make mistakes, who was witty and confident and never afraid to speak out about what they believed in. Not only do I not tick any of those boxes, I think it'll be rare to find anyone who really is every one of those things all at once. However, as I went through PLC, I found the leaders who I looked up to most, who had the biggest influence on the lives of myself and other students, didn't have to be every one of those things at all. They were just themselves, and unapologetically so. Whether it be the unique initiatives and events planned out by each year group through the SRC, or the passion which brings girls together for strength and conditioning before the sun is properly up, at PLC, it's while we pursue the things we're most passionate about that we serve also as constant role models, not only for younger students, but our peers. I recently read a quote that compared leadership to a muscle. The more you train it, the more effectively you're able to harness it. From our first day at PLC, it's clear just how important student leadership is within our school. And so this same muscle of leadership is trained each day. This is why I think our sporting carnivals, our guild drama performances are always so successful. Year after year, it is through learning from those who've come before us, who lead by example, that we learn to genuinely care about giving things a go and trying to do the absolute best that we can. It's the same reason why the student that hates public speaking
will get up on this stage tomorrow and dance and sing and say their lines regardless. The same reason why each year girls who've never swum the medley in their lives will do so at the swimming carnival for the sole sake of giving it a go. I think this is the same reason why Mr. Clark and Mr. Clendenning both decided to battle it out in cross country this year. At PLC, we're in the very privileged position to be able to do things, almost anything, just because we can, and we take that opportunity every time. In this way, throughout my role this year, I've realised that leadership at PLC isn't something that's reserved for badges or titles. Far from that. It's the way each girl throws herself into school events, allowing us to lead by example, not only as individuals, but as a collective whole. That's the second point I like to make about leadership at PLC. It's about working together. This is why I think that one of my favourite memories from school is playing together with senior strings down in Sydney earlier this year, prancing around our little rehearsal room while the kids from Hong Kong and Tasmania peered in, slightly aghast from next door. Even more so than the stage and the hall and all the fancy lights, it was being there together with my ensemble mates, my friends, that made it so worthwhile. And so, to the students, if there's anything at all I can leave you with today, it's to urge you all to continue being you. Use the voices that we have to continue making good progress forward. And whether you love to sing, to run, whether like one student here you think sea cucumbers are the greatest creature on the planet, continue to be no one but yourself. Because our individuality and unity in our support for one another will be what takes us to whatever we set our sights to. And here, those sights are set to the stars. PLC Armidale, it was an honour to be your head prefect this year. Ad Astra.
We come now to the presentation of prizes, and I'm very appreciative that we were able to sing that carol, I Was an Apology. It's the first time in 9 years for our carol service last evening, attending our youngest son's speech day in Sydney last night. So it is with great delight that we present these awards this morning. And as Chio has just said, they do recognise the accomplishment of individual girls in their respective area of endeavour and the striving for the prizes, for the pockets, for the certificates, for the acknowledgement, both recognised today and recognised continuously throughout the year, is something that truly does characterise a PLC Armidale girl because it is led by our girls. Our Year 7 prizes firstly, and we will refrain our applause for each year group until the conclusion of the year group prizes. Year 7, a prize of academic distinction to Lily Donaldson. A prize of academic distinction to Darcy Finlayson. A prize of academic distinction to Kithmi Jarayatni. A prize of academic distinction to Kalani Madawaji. A prize of academic distinction to Evie Matthews. A prize of academic distinction to Olive McFarlane. And the PLC Armidale Prize for SRC representation to Poppy Grace Newton. Would you join with me in congratulating Year 7? To Year 8, an award of academic distinction to Mem Lay. An award of academic distinction to Kate Loxley. An award of academic distinction to Alana Marshall. And an award of academic distinction to Miller Van Zeller. Would you join with me in congratulating our Year 8 award recipients? In Year 9, an award of academic distinction to Emily Adams. An award of academic distinction to Stephanie Blake. The English Faculty Poet Laureate Award, highly commended for This Sickening Sweetness, to Ava Hopkinson. An award of academic distinction and the Verna Stewart Community Service Award, joint recipient to Jessica McMahon. The other joint recipient of the Verna Stewart Community Service Award is Navita Ma. An award of academic distinction, the Office of Adam Marshall MP Junior Future Leader Award, the English Faculty Poet Laureate Award, highly commended for her work once, is presented to Rachel Mungle. An award of academic distinction to Binadi Vithana. An award of academic distinction to Elsie Wake. and an award of academic distinction to Lucy Ward. Would you join with me in congratulating our Year 9 award recipients? To Year 10, an award of academic distinction and the Rao Year 10 All-Rounder Award runner-up, Emily Blake. An award of academic distinction, the Australian Defence Force Long-Tan Leadership Award, the Jean Mitchell Year 10 History Prize, and the Taylor Routley Memorial Prize for Fiction winner Junior Secondary for her piece The Bottom of the Pool is awarded to Ali Bragg. An award for excellence and creativity in visual arts and design technology is presented to Daisy Donaldson. An award of academic distinction, the Australian Defence Force Future Innovator Award, the Professor John Burton Memorial Prize for Science joint winner, and the English Faculty Poet Laureate Award winner for her work in the words of Jane Austen is presented to Nevada Guionce. The Life-Saving Award for the most significant contribution to the life-saving program in Activities Week is presented to Poppy McLaren. The Blanche Cup for outstanding ability and contribution to sport is presented to Bridie O'Neill. An award of academic distinction is presented to Daisy Sheedy. The Alexandria Ada Lam Prize for Choir is presented to India Smith. An award of academic distinction, the Professor John Burton Memorial Prize for Science joint winner, the Zonta Prize for Excellence in STEM, and the Rao Year 10 All-Rounder Award is presented to Amelie Vanderwerf. An award of academic distinction is presented to Zoe Webb. Would you join with me in congratulating our Year 10 award recipients? Our awards to Year 11. The Armidale Regional Council Citizenship Award is presented to Lily Higgins. An award of academic distinction is presented to Caitlin Cable. An award of academic distinction and the University of Newcastle 2023 Year 11 Excellence Award for Software Design and Development is presented to Scarlett Loxley. The Urala Aboriginal Centre Achievement Award is presented to Ellen Marsden. The Olympic Game Changer Award is presented to Mia Montgomery. And an award of academic distinction, the Tread Gold Award for Public Speaking, and the Scope Award is presented to Anviti Sinha. the award of academic distinction, and a joint recipient of the Scope Award. Congratulations to Isabella Waters. The Taylor Ratley Memorial Prize for Fiction winner in Senior Secondary for her work Hope is Alana Williams. Would you join with me in congratulating our Year 11 award recipients? I am now going to ask the SRC representatives of Year 11 to come forward to receive the Social Service Award on behalf of their year group, please. And while Emily and Mia are making their way to the stage, I will also read out that Lauren Williams is the recipient of the Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award this year, and Emma de Paris, the recipient of the Dorothy Knox Matriculant Prize for the highest ATAR in 2022. Both girls were unable to be here. But would you join with me in congratulating Year 11, please? Mr. Estridge, do I have a clicker? Other side. Thank you. Well, little did I know when considering our theme for 2023 how apt it would be. Grit and Grace was chosen, not because it was short and memorable, but because having reflected upon our college and its history in our 135th anniversary year last year, and also considering plans for the year ahead, the words seem to sum up so much of what makes PLC Armidale unique. Grit and Grace were chosen. Grit, having the courage to continue even in the face of challenge. Grit requires resilience and self-control. Grit determines that life's challenges will not define us nor defeat us. Grit is where perseverance meets passion to create purpose. By contrast, grace is freely given. It's a mercy, generosity, a kindness, a moral strength, a favour, even when it is not deserved. Grace is that ability to push towards excellence, leaving room for failure along the way. But to understand grace, we have to know and accept our own shortcomings and failures. And Chio, you reflected that sense in your representation of leadership about it not being about perfection, but about using those areas of challenge or potential failures as strengths. So grace is embodied. It's an attitude, a characteristic, a belief, and as such, it has a contagious and positive effect on others. 2023 began with the very sad news that the long-term supporter and patron of PLC Armidale, Mrs. Rosemary Leach, had passed away. Mrs. Leach had a very lengthy connection with PLC Armidale, providing generous personal support for the study of languages and music, funding scholarships which allowed many PLC Armidale girls to access experiences they might not otherwise have been able to enjoy. Mrs. Leach was the long-term mayor of Armidale and a one-time chair of College Council, and she was a woman who embodied both grit and grace, the latter evident when a stroke robbed her of her independence and dignity that had characterised much of her life. Mrs. Leach was one of a long list of women we've reflected upon this year in our senior school assemblies. Names less familiar, accomplishments more obscure, lives more remote, women of different times and often a different place, but each leaving a legacy, a life of significance, a life of grit and grace. Denied an education, having to remain at home to care for her 10 siblings, married at 18, mother of 5 before she was 30, and soon after finding herself a single parent when her husband decided he didn't want to be married anymore. Louisa Lawson did what any woman of the day would have done. She bought a newspaper. That was her way of generating an income, providing a platform for publishing her son Henry Lawson's works, as well as a way of advocating for improved conditions for women, including the right to vote, divorce law reforms, and childcare for working women. A life of grit and grace. Polio victim, referred to as a fire hazard by her school principal because of her wheelchair when her mother sought to enrol her in kindergarten. Judith, or Judy Human, became the first wheelchair-bound teacher employed in New York State. Julie died earlier this year, aged 76. One of the tributes published in the New York Times said that her life reflected her attitude that most things are possible when you assume that problems can be solved. A life of grit and grace. Nora Hyson, aged 27, the first woman to win the Archibald Prize, became Australia's first female war artist, serving in New Guinea between 1944 to 1946, particularly portraying the activities of the Australian nurses. Nora was criticised by her superior officers because she depicted the lighter side of the war effort. They really didn't like the painting of the nurses' afternoon tea table, but they wanted to create a little sense of home amongst the grief and distress of war. But she painted what she saw nonetheless, and some of her artwork is on display at the Art Gallery here in Armidale, A Life of Grit and Grace. Wilma Rudolph, born prematurely, 20th child in a family of 22 in a house with no electricity or running water. She was struck down by polio and scarlet fever the year she was to start school, so she didn't go to school for many years. Her parents were told that she wouldn't be able to run or move freely, and they put in years of intensive physical therapy through which Wilma developed a love for sports, especially athletics. She was spotted by an athletics coach on a track event, aged 16, the youngest member selected to represent the American Olympic track and field team at the 1956 Olympic Games in Melbourne. She won bronze in the 400-metre relay. 4 years later, she went back to Italy, becoming the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in one Olympics. Her nickname, the Black Pearl, enduring hardship and challenge to overcome adversity. A life of grit and grace. Closer to home, the death of Slim Dusty's wife, Joy McKean, saddened the Australian country music scene. 50 years ago, Joy was the first ever recipient of a Golden Guitar Award for her song Lights on the Hill. She composed that song after driving up the New England Highway to Guyra through the Pinch one cold, rainy evening. This success encouraged Joy to persevere writing songs under her own name in what then was a very male-dominated industry. She's remembered for her talent, empathy, integrity, and a pioneer in the Australian music industry. A life lived with grit and grace. Or Ida Stanley, left home and her family in Adelaide to travel by horse and buggy to Alice Springs in order to establish schools and care for Aboriginal children in the early 1800s. Adelaide Meathke establishing schools for girls in remote areas. She was the driving force for establishing the School of the Air. Lives lived with grit and grace. So in addition to considering women in different places, times and seasons of life, we should look a little closer to home to see of the grit and grace shown within our community throughout 2023. At Speech Day last year, I spoke of the 4 pillars or the foundation of a PLC Armidale experience, and here are some of the highlights of each. I haven't listed the girls by name, and that is because, for the space of the slide, but this isn't just about the recognition of individuals. We have done that and we do that throughout the year. But as Chio referred to in her speech, this is the collective endeavour as well. We had girls that achieved very outstanding results, both locally, regionally and nationally in academic competitions and awards. A student participating in the Curious Minds Winter Camp. She was one of only 5 of the 120 students in attendance, and they were selected from a very large pool of over 500 applicants nationally, and she was able to present at the Curious Minds program on her chosen topic. We had outstanding results once again in NAPLAN for all of our students. We don't ask girls not to do NAPLAN. If a girl wants to do NAPLAN, the girl can do NAPLAN. There are no issues with girls being asked to be absent from NAPLAN at PLC Armidale, and yet if you look at the My Schools website and compared to our schools nationally, we are a sea of green, more than just our uniform. The Creative and Performing Arts headed this year for the first time as a new faculty within the school, led by Mrs. Jo Weisel, again had an outstanding year of accomplishments, from students attending National Youth Orchestra camps in Adelaide. We had 17 portraits submitted to the Young Archie competitions, 9 works in the current exhibition of iterations and inspirations at NERAM. We had 3 students selected to travel to Melbourne to sing as part of a regional orchestra, singing at Benjamin Britten's Requiem, performed by the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. 50% of the Armidale to Stedford finalists were PLC Armidale girls, winning the Adjudicator Choice Award across a number of sections, girls being selected to perform in the gala concert individually and also corporately. We had 55 girls from pre-K right through to Year 12 taking part in the Armidale Dance of Stedford. We had a student placing second in the music section of the Shakespeare Carnival once more this year with an original composition. We had, as Chio has mentioned, an outstanding number of girls attaining their CVCA in their AMEB speech and drama examinations. What Chio didn't mention was that each of those girls was awarded an A+, a distinction with honours, which was a wonderful tribute to their teacher, Jan Patterson. We have had of our Year 12 girls, students selected for callback, students, which is the dance composition HSC showcase, students selected for onstage for their drama performance. In fact, every one of our drama students received a nomination for callback, the HSC showcase of drama work. We have had students nominated for their costume design work, students nominated for encore, the music performance. We had a student awarded an A Marseille in flute, a Year 10 student, a significant achievement for a student at that year level. What Chio also didn't mention was that she was the successful recipient of an El Marseille award for her work in piano, having attained her A Marseille in flute, I think when you were in Year 10? We'll catch up on that later. And then we had all of the girls across the college that took part in a very successful Charlie and the Chocolate Factory musical. Leadership and challenge is another area of experience, and Chio is right. Every girl at PLC Armidale that wants to have an opportunity to be involved in leading or learning the skills of leadership is afforded that chance. This year we incepted 2 new positions of leadership in our junior school, a junior school creative arts captain and a junior school sport captain. And I would like to acknowledge the work of our senior captains in helping their junior captains' counterparts become involved in some of our whole school creative arts and sport events. We've had 2 students take part in the Rotary Public Speaking competition. One of them was the runner-up. One of our Year 10 students won the local land services competition in the social media post category, and 2 other awards in Year 10 were received highly commended. Cattle team, and I intentionally included cattle team in leadership, not in sport, and I did that for a particular reason. One is we've just had our Starry Night of Sport and celebration of sport last Friday, and that was, again, an outstanding showcase and recognition of the girls' accomplishment across such a range of sports and such a range of year groups. But cattle team is one of those areas that doesn't neatly fit into a category, but yet our cattle team is oversubscribed in 2023. We have more girls wanting to do cattle team than we have had places available for them. Our cattle team have had amazing success, not just at local shows, but also at the Sydney Royal and the Brisbane Ekka. Our cattle team this year received $20,500, which was donated to the Victor Chang Cardiac Research for their work in raising the charity steer. And we have just received news that PLC Armidale has been selected for the 3rd year in a row to raise the Shoot Bell charity steer for the 2024 Sydney Royal Show. Bearing in mind that when it came to us for the first time, a meeting in my office and the representative from Shoot Bell said, "You'll only have it once because we do want to send it around to the other schools and give everyone an opportunity. And then after the success of the first show, we were asked, would we do it a second time? And now we've received an invitation to a third time, which is wonderful, and full credit to our cattle team and our cattle team coordinators, Tim and Bryony. We have had girls attending attending heifer camps in Adelaide because they won the Red Pole Youth Camp Member Award in 2023, and we will also send another girl in 2024. One of our students won the 16 years Young Judges class out of 150 students at Scone Upper Hunter Beef Bonanza. And that student, and I'm not going to mention her by name, but that student wouldn't necessarily say she will put her hand up first for every public speaking opportunity, but put her in that context in her field of passion and endeavour, and she truly takes the lead. We had one of our students be awarded the Grand Champion Young Judge out of 300 other students at the recent Northern School Steers competition, and that student is only in Year 8. Our cattle team placed second out of 30 schools at that competition, and our girls in areas of leadership across the college once more have excelled. Sport and outdoor education, it is a long, long list, and you'll notice the print size got smaller to accommodate it. As I said, I'm not going to cover absolutely everything, but we have had girls selected for representation at our local level, at our regional level, at state level, and also progress right through to nationals, and not just in one or two sports, but in a range of sports as well. We were commended by local sporting association for the fairness of our play in sports like football, which is very hard for our girls to win games, and yet we did have a team that won a couple of games and they scored goals as well, but they were commended and recognised for their fair play and their enthusiasm on the field and their perseverance even when they're looking literally waist high at their opponents on the other teams. Recently, we have had 3 students represent Armidale Gymnastics at the State Championships in Sydney, a very competitive field, and each girl was awarded a silver and bronze medal for their respective divisions. And we have just recently found out that one of our students was crowned the New South Wales Under-16 champion at the New South Wales Champion of Champions tennis event. What makes that particular award so significant is that student in Year 9 was actually part of our month-long residential program, which I'm going to go on and speak about now. That meant that her usual training schedule and routine had to be restricted down just to the days that were the rest days. And when other girls were resting, she was out training. And then the weekend that the ESJ program finished, she travelled to compete and won the Under-16 Champion of Champions. I am actually going to mention her name, Sophie Bailey. Congratulations, Sophie. We haven't had an assembly where we could congratulate Sophie since she was awarded that. So ESJ, or our Explore Serve Journey program launched this year, was some time in the making. A program focused on seeking a way to weave together and strengthen many of the threads of experience in place at the college, but with a very intentional focus. At a critical time in a girl's development, taking each one out of their comfort zone, away from the known, the familiar and the safe, to encourage challenge by choice, healthy, appropriate risk-taking, learning to live in community. For Year 10, earlier in Term 1, this involved a journey from the highest city in Australia, Armidale, to the peak of the highest mountain in Australia, Mount Kosciuszko. The girls explored, served and journeyed along the way. The Stage 5 peak experience, living in community, away from home, away from routine, away from family, away from technology. This is the end of some of the features of our Year 10 experience. In Sydney, the girls sailed on Sydney Harbour, they climbed the harbour bridge, they went on every form of public transport we could, apart from planes, that was a bit too expensive. I think the light rail was the preferred mode of choice, though a good walk was also worthwhile. The girls were involved in an urban challenge, and they looked at the cultural diversity, and many of the girls were struck and spoke of the plight of the homeless and those living on the streets in Sydney. From there, they journeyed on to Canberra, the nation's capital, and there looked at the way that our capital city has been set up to highlight the culture of service, that giving and that sharing and that coming together that characterises the democratic nation that we have the privilege of living in. Our Year 9 girls, for their peak experience, they were involved in living away from home for 1 month. A residential experience, a very different experience for Year 9, but full commendation and credit to the girls and to the families. It takes a lot of courage as a parent to let your daughter be involved in a program like this. So thank you for your expression of trust. But to the girls who made it so very worthwhile, from early experiences right through to the end, the girls learned new skills, not just in mountain biking and canoeing and in hiking, in packing a pack, putting up a tent, putting down a tent in the pouring rain, navigating a menu plan, a shopping experience, but actually doing that with people that you might not necessarily say were your immediate friendship group, because the purpose of living in community is to appreciate experiences from each other's perspective, not just through your own eyes and the eyes of your friends. It was truly an opportunity for exploring, for serving our local community through service to our mountain bike association, as well as to Journey. There were many independence and life skills that were taught throughout our program as well. And listening to the speeches the girls delivered to their parents on the Saturday, and as we welcomed them back into the school on Monday, the first day of our activities week, the objective of Explore, Serve, Journey, which is to actually take each person on that inner journey, that transformation at a point in time where decisions that we make do have consequences into the future. It was profound to hear the girls' own reflections, and I would like to acknowledge once more the work of the team that put Explore, Serve, Journey together, led by Mrs. Amanda Burney and also our chaplain, Miss Jennifer Lay, and they were unwavering in their commitment to the program and in their leadership of the girls throughout. So thank you. I am looking forward to how Explore, Serve, Journey will grow into the future. Year 11 have already asked, Year 10 have already asked, what does Year 11 ESJ look like? And we would like it to be something that characterises an experience for each of our girls, particularly in the senior school from Year 7 right through. As I draw to the close, I would like to acknowledge and thank the work of our College Council, led very ably by Mrs. Leah Russell. Leah is tireless in her work for both colleges. She is the mother of 2 sons, so there is no personal benefit in Leah leading either of these schools, but she does so out of a strong conviction for the importance of all girls' education and the importance of Christ-centred education as well. Leah leads a very strong and skillful college council, and I'm very grateful to the work and support of our local Armidale delegates as well. I would now like to also acknowledge the work of our senior executive team, to our business manager, Mrs. Rita Brissett, who is unable to be here today as she is unwell, to our head of senior school, Mr. Mitchell Clendining, to our head of junior school, Mrs. Fiona Wake, to our chaplain and former head of boarding, Miss Jennifer Lay. We are a small executive team, but we are a team that seeks to have common purpose and to understand the perspective of each other's leadership portfolio and responsibility, so that decisions that are decisions made for the best interest of all across the years of the school. I would also like to thank the hard work and effort of our staff. You may have seen recent news articles about the plight of education in other sectors, and I am delighted to say that at PLC Armidale, the experience that the girls benefit from, the sense of being known and noticed, cared for and cared about, being taught well academically, across all of those other areas of our PLC Armidale experience is because of the collective effort of our staff under the direction of our senior executive team, but it is the hard work of staff that go the extra mile, look for opportunities, support the girls, make things happen, give of themselves, that needs to be recognised this morning. So could I ask you to join with me in acknowledging the work of our staff and of our college council and senior executive, please. But parents, I would also like to say a huge thank you to you as well. I do not take for granted the privilege that it is to educate your daughters and to have conversations with you along the way. For some, at different points in a girl's education, those conversations might be challenging, and yet I am very appreciative of the respectful, transparent, and solution-focused interactions that I have with our parent community. I welcome the feedback. There is no such thing as either a silly question or unhelpful feedback, especially when it is given in the spirit of wanting the best outcome for our girls now and also for the college into the future. So thank you, parents, for your continued engagement, involvement, trust and support of PLC Armidale. Girls, would you join with me in thanking your parents for providing you this opportunity as well? And girls, lastly, my last thank you for Speech Day goes to you, because without you, we would not be here, but without you, we would not be able to do the amazing things that for a small regional school, we are able to do. Your willingness to be involved, your tenacity, your perseverance, your courage, your bravery when things are hard, your mentoring of younger students, the way that you are willing to have those hard conversations when friendships are not going quite as planned, and then looking for those opportunities of giving back to the school, of serving, of putting forward initiatives. There are few principals that would be able to acknowledge such a diverse group of students, know them by name individually, and see the collective gain that we have by you all being part of our school community. So thank you. Staff, would you join with me in congratulating and thanking our girls for a fabulous year? I just want to conclude with a Bible reading, and I've chosen this passage because as I've looked and reflected upon the grit and grace shown throughout the collective spirit and endeavour across the college this year, these words echo to mind. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, through psalms, hymns and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Ad Astra. Could I now invite you to be upstanding as we sing together our school anthem Ad Astra, following which our chaplain, Miss Jennifer Lay, will close with the benediction and then the recessional. Thank you.
Let me close with a benediction. May the grace of God abound to each one of you. May the mercy of God cover you. And may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and your minds in the knowledge and love of Christ, now and forevermore. Amen.